Welcome to PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm here today with the talented, the ever-charming Mr. William J. Gagliardi.
Oh, you. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. How are you? You good? You look good.
Thank you.
You look healthy.
Thank you. I've been trying to be more healthy.
Good. What are you doing?
But without effort.
Oh.
I'm very excited about today's episode because this is a concept you came up with, which was sequels, spinoffs, and cinematic universi.
Well, I mean, to everyone else, this would, I guess, be fanfic, but our ideas are better. So,
Yeah.
you know, these are strong ideas, and I guess before anything, I would say that today's date of recording, I don't know about when this is being posted, is December 3rd, 2021. So if anybody steals these ideas, copywritten right now.
This is
the cheapest
ours.
way possible.
Yes. I'll actually put this out on a tape and then send it to myself.
Ah, yes. That's a solid way to do it. You know, that's what they always said with your songs.
Yeah.
Mail them to yourselves.
But was that ever true, or is it bullshit?
I think it's bullshit. Like, I mean, good thing with Spotify now when we put something out, something concrete, but who knows? Everything's a copy of everything, right?
Right, exactly. Like I
Just
said
everybody
in the
be
Ghostbusters
cool.
episode. Yes. So, yeah, these are things that we would love to see. And, you know, I think, let me look at my list here for a second. I can see at least one of these things actually happening in the next 5 years. Maybe not the others, but you know what? Who knows? I would never have thought 10 years ago that, you know, I'd be living in a world with like 7 new Star Wars movies and a new Ghostbusters movie, and they would have got Harrison Ford and Bill Murray back. And, you know, I would never have thought any of it. There's 2 new He-Man shows on the air.
At the same time, too, which is amazing. But, like, yeah, it was always like imagine. So what you would do, like, when you were a kid in math class, not paying attention to math, is you just take it upon yourself to make that.
Yeah.
You know, like, what was one of my first things? I remember when I was a little kid, I had a place up in the Poconos.
You personally as a child.
Yes.
It was your fuck pad.
Yeah. I mean, I was a very wealthy child that could invest in many properties. You know, real estate is the best, you know, it's growing wealth. My family had a place up in the Poconos, and we would go up there to go ski. And, like, I would play in the backyard when it would snow. And it was like, okay, this is like if there was a planet on Star Wars where there was like Hoth and Endor.
Yeah.
And so like I would like just like pretend that there was this whole new Star Wars. And then that was Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
It was just Hoth with trees.
Yeah.
Or Hoth with salt
Abrams
was
did
great,
the
you know?
same thing. Except he did it in offices at Disney, and they were like, yeah, go right ahead.
And then he did it again, and they're like, change everything and make it bad.
Did you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know, the sketch show?
Yes. Not much, but whatever I did really caught me.
Did you ever see the sketch where like just some random dude writes a Star Wars movie and emails it to George Lucas, and George Lucas makes it? And it's just like there's like, whoa, 2 Chewbacca's. Well, that's a...
I feel like I remember when I was a really young kid, this was like, you know, probably like early 90s or when I was first getting into Star Wars, they always said that Darth Vader became Darth Vader because he fell into a volcano.
Yes.
And like George Lucas said nothing about this. Like I remember like I had the VHS's, like the THX releases back from 1995 pre-special edition when like Leonard Maltin was directing him. There was never any word of that.
Right.
That he fell into a volcano. And then, lo and behold, Revenge of the Sith, Mustafar happens.
Yeah.
And there is melted Anakin.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, fanfic gets to the writers, and then they take it as their own.
Absolutely.
Like Timothy Zahn with the Zahn novels. How much of that has turned into The Force Awakens?
Right.
How much of that should have been the rest of the sequel trilogy? Much of it.
Yeah. So this is coming from a place of love. I'm very excited to hear. We both have 5. I'm very excited to hear yours. So you start us off.
All right. This one is something I kind of like grabbed at the last minute, but I think it would be interesting. I tried to stay to the original source. That's
Okay.
why it's a little far-fetched.
I see.
Back in the early 90s, there was a movie that could have butted a whole franchise. But however, people did not like it. You've talked about it many times on this podcast. This is a sequel to the 1993, I believe, Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
So at the very end of Super Mario Brothers, Daisy comes in and she goes, Mario, Luigi, you're not going to believe this. And Mario goes, oh, I believe it.
Yes.
And then we think, okay,
Nothing
Mario
else.
Brothers 2 is going to happen.
Right. It's going to happen
And
next week.
My original idea for the longest time, because I held on to this for a long time, it's like, oh, it's going to be Wart from Super Mario Brothers 2. Because Mario had a dream, and it was the whole plot of Super Mario Brothers 2. So I always understood it as Mario dreamt this, and now he's ready for it.
Right.
So a couple of turn of events happened. Super Mario Bros. 2 never happened. Bob Hoskins dies.
Yes.
But we still want to stay true to the franchise. So Mario Brothers 2 currently still casts John Leguizamo as Luigi.
Okay.
At some point during their adventures, Mario dies. And Mario Brothers 2 will be Luigi looking for the ghost of Mario in Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion.
The movie. Super Mario Brothers 2, Luigi's Mansion. And if you're familiar with that, he teams up with Professor Egad. And right now I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a blast. I think it would be a great...
The newest one?
Yes.
That's a really good...
It's It's hard.
Best Ghostbusters game.
Yes, exactly. That's why. It's Super Mario Brothers meets Ghostbusters.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, do we Harold Ramis...
Bob Hoskins?
Bob Hoskins?
Oh, I sure hope so. Oh, man.
We don't want to recast him, right?
No.
And he's got to find the ghost at some point.
That's why. I mean, I'm going to go down this list, and I was very passionate about all my casting. So, yeah, John Leguizamo, I thought, was an excellent Luigi.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves to keep that spot.
Yes.
Not whatever they're casting for, like that Chris Pratt.
Charlie Day.
I would give it to Charlie Day. I'm excited to hear.
He's got the energy.
Yeah, he does have the energy.
After seeing House of Gucci, I think Jared Leto would be an amazing Luigi. Have you seen House of Gucci?
No, but he seems like a Waluigi, though.
Oh, yeah. It is a bad movie, but it is so fun. Me and Jen have been quoting it since we saw it. There's a scene where he's like, remember, chocolate and shit. They may look alike, but they taste very different. I know.
Poor Jared Leto. Like, he's always...
I never liked him until now. Now I'm like, he's hilarious. He's the only one who knows he's in a comedy.
I feel like he's being a creep on purpose in life.
Oh, probably.
Don't hashtag him on this. I don't want him to hear that.
Well, he like sends dead rats to people.
Oh, no. So, yeah, he's a creep
He's
on
like,
purpose.
the Joker. Like, shut up. Stop. Who else is in your movie? Who's your princess? Do you have a princess?
No, I don't have a princess.
Let's use Anna Taylor-Joy. She's going to be in the new one, or the voice.
Yeah. You know what? Like, that was actually a good casting decision for that.
Or what's her name is still alive, right? I mean, I know her and Leguizamo actually dated, so there might be some bad blood there.
No.
But you know.
I was really seeing this as a very, like, yes, Ghostbusters meets Mario Brothers, but an I Am Legend, like a very, like, solo, like, bring up the intensity, bring up, like, you know.
Just like Leguizamo.
It's just like Leguizamo. And I think that he really deserves a whole, so, like really work on his gravity and stuff, because, like, it's been since The Pest. He needs something since The Pest.
Do you get, like, since The Pest?
Like,
he would be heartbroken if you really defined his career as Mario the Pest and nothing else.
And then Luigi's Mansion.
Who do you get? Guillermo del Toro to direct it?
He would be perfect.
He'd be perfect. Right?
I mean, like Ivan Reitman right now, or Jason Reitman's really hot right now with all that. With
he just signed a big Sony deal.
Let's get him on it. Ghosts are hot right now.
You bet they are. Janine's always been attracted to the ghosts.
I know. I'm actually dead.
That's incredible. No, I think that is. I tell you what, if the new animated movie does good, which why won't it? I can see maybe not your Leguizamo version, but I could see a Luigi's Mansion happening.
Yes.
Because the thing is, we're old, so we use the term spinoff.
Yeah.
Which is not a term young people use anymore.
No. It's reboot. Or no, not a reboot or whatever.
It's just cinematic universe. Yeah. Like, that's what everything wants.
Yes.
Like, you don't, like, now The Conjuring has a cinematic universe.
It's like we don't care about The Conjuring. now.
Ghostbusters, they're trying to make it a cinematic universe.
I would love to see that.
It's gonna happen, and so I'm sure no one has the idea of one movie. They're not like, let's make one Mario movie. They're already thinking, okay, we're gonna make a Mario movie. If that's good, then we've got Seth Rogen. He'll beat Donkey Kong in his own movie, and they'll just go and go and go.
Oh
and
man,
go.
if they make a Mario Kart movie with wacky races, that would be incredible, right?
Yeah.
But Ghostbusters Cinematic Universe, are they going to include Casper in that since Ray was in Casper?
I mean, is it canon?
It's canon.
I mean, in my heart, when I was a kid watching Casper, it was in universe. I was like, that's a Ghostbuster. On
Absolutely,
screen.
yeah. I saw I got my Ghostbusters fix. This is Ghostbusters 3.
I mean, sure, he dealt with Vigo the Carpathian and Stinky and Stretch.
Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso are worse than Vigo the
Definitely
Carpathian.
worse. Well, he went
Vince
alone.
Clortho.
He thought, you know what? He told the other three, you know what? This is a small job.
You need the X Factor. You need Peter there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I wanted Mario Brothers 2 to happen so bad because yes, it was you would call it a unique movie. I would call it not fulfilling to the property.
Uh-huh.
But I did want to see where they were going to go with it. But like, what happened? Bob Hoskins dies. Dennis Hopper dies.
The director's
Fiona Shaw's dead, or
no? She's alive.
No, her husband died in Harry Potter.
Also,
He's
remember the directors became just Hollywood blacklisted for being asshole weirdos.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what you do first? You first reboot Max Headroom, and then they'll return to grace, and then
their big return to grace. They're also divorced now, so you got to get them back together. You got to get that two so back together.
Yeah, but so are the people on that HGTV show. Which one is that? But they're still together. They
they
have different shows now.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm watching reruns then at
Is
work.
that Chip?
No. Oh God, please no.
I'm sorry.
They should never ever get
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
JoJo.
Hold your tongue.
No, House Hunters, I think, right? No. I don't know.
All right.
We won't do an HGTV show.
Not yet.
No.
All right, so I guess I'll go with the most obvious one. This is one that I think can and most likely will happen. Star Wars: The Adventures of Luke and Grogu. I think in some way this will happen. I think it could be animated. I would like for it to be live action. They just need to recast Luke.
Yes.
We can't do more. No more of that nonsense. We just get an actor in there to play Luke.
They thought they got away with it with Tarkin, and they're like, we're just going to keep de-aging people and making fake people and stuff. No.
And like they got poor Mark Hamill on set to really do nothing. Like none of what they shot with him was used even for reference. It's like, did you just want him to feel included? Like, what did you think that they might use it? Like, because none of the shots with Mark Hamill playing Luke gave them anything to work with.
Yeah, he works enough. Like, pass the torch.
Just give it to some. Look, you did it with Han Solo, right?
Yeah.
You recast Han Solo, recast Luke. Look, Grogu's the star of the show. Luke's old news.
Sebastian Shaw, there's been so many pictures of him next to like a Empire Strikes Back Mark Hamill. And it's like just Sebastian Stan. Oh, that's who am I
Fiona Shaw's husband.
Yeah, sure. There we go. Sebastian Stan looks just like Mark Hamill.
He
at that
really
time.
does.
So
And
just
he's a good
give
actor.
it to him. He's owned by Disney anyway with the Winter Soldier.
Owned by Disney.
Isn't everybody owned by Disney?
I mean, we all are at some point.
Don't hashtag Disney. They will buy us.
I do. This is one on my list that I actually think will happen. It'll happen in some way.
It has to.
Whether it'll be a comic or a book, it's going to happen.
Yes.
But I'd love to see it.
Now, part of that, what I'm really afraid of, and I think everybody thought it right when the last Mandalorian episode happened, was, did Kylo Ren kill Grogu?
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God.
He survived Anakin and one purge. He could survive too.
I hope so.
I mean, we also, he could have dropped out at some point. Like, who knows if he even made it to, like, I think where we see Luke, it's Mandalorian's like 5 years after Jedi?
Yes.
So, like, Luke is not in his, like, I got a temple phase. He's, like, in his, like, I don't know, independent study phase.
I'm the cool tutor,
Yeah, he's just finding random Force-sensitive people and, like, training them one-on-one. I think it's, if I understand the timeline at all, I think he starts his own temple, like, much later. So, Grogu was fine. In Star Wars, you think about Boba Fett. We thought we saw him die. We were wrong.
Oh, yes.
You have to see somebody literally burn and become nothing that's the only way someone dies in Star
But then they
Wars.
come back as a Force ghost,
Right.
so you don't
die
never
in
lose
Star
them.
Wars. Yeah.
Imagine Darth
a
Maul
little
got
Force-
cut in half and fell
Yeah.
down like 1,000-foot tube,
Nah.
and now he has spider legs.
He's fine.
So
Although a little Force ghost Grogu might be adorable.
yeah,
Because also he'd stay a cute baby forever. He wouldn't grow.
yeah, but like I feel like
That's
once
sick.
he gets Luke, then he's gonna have like his like teen Groot phase, and he's gonna be like, "Fuck you, Dad,"
Right.
stuff like that. And-
Well, I want there are things you want to see, right? You want to see him with you want to keep him cute. I don't care that much about a teenage Grogu.
yeah, Luke getting frustrated,
Right. But you do want him to like use a lightsaber at some point, a little lightsaber for
Yeah.
a little guy. I'd be fine with that.
It kind of like I don't know, like it looks like a sonic screwdriver. I like how thin it is.
Right. I see him with a blue one, nice blue one.
Oh wow, yeah, because Yoda's had a green and like
Yeah.
oh, man.
I always thought it was stupid that Yoda had a green one.
Yeah, 'cause he's green.
It's dumb.
Come on, that's a layup.
What do you got?
What I got? Oh, for my next one.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I'm not too passionate about, but this is my spinoff.
Okay.
Okay. My spinoff is Kip Dynamite,
Okay.
which is a spinoff to Napoleon Dynamite.
okay.
And it will star Aaron Rule, who is the original actor of Kip. I looked him up. He's ageless. He has done nothing since. But Kip was such a fascinating character in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
So I want to know what he did in high school, like what his story was.
Do you want
growing
to
up
go
in high school.
backwards?
See, that's the weird thing about spinoffs. You look at a lot of spinoffs, they always tell the story of before the events happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you could do before the events happened, after the events happened. Like we could see his relationship with LaFonda again.
Yeah.
But what I want to see is I want to see him in high school. I want to like he seems like the type of guy who always fails upwards. Like who
Yeah.
always like comes into some mess, but he ends up coming out smelling like roses on top. I want to see him in school with Rex Kwando. Diedrich, like whoever could play young Diedrich Bader and stuff. There's really not much to it, but like I feel like it would be a very.
Do you see this as a film or a series? How do you see this coming?
Maybe as a digital short. I don't
Right,
really
because
know.
I feel like, and this is true even for like the original movie. Like I feel like a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I feel like a little bit of Kip is like.
Yeah.
I feel like if we really watch him for like imagine like 90 minutes of just him.
Yeah.
At some point, I think it might get.
But the best part about Kip was he was always paired up with somebody else, mostly Uncle Rico in the movie.
Yeah.
So you're going to get more Uncle Rico, and you're going to get more of his story
Right.
too. Yeah, like
Right, you will
'cause,
have
like,
and the grandmother or whatever.
and then the grandmother, maybe Napoleon and Kip's parents, who we have no idea about.
Right.
What's going to happen after, like because like he goes and he marries LaFonda, and then they have their own adventure too.
Right.
So like I do want to know what happens before when they're like younger kids.
Right.
But
Maybe you could have him like narrating it, like him like with his children, and he's telling them a story of him young.
So it's the How I Met Your Mother type.
Yes, exactly.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to like frame it. It'll be like young Sheldon.
But
Was he just not an actor? Was he just someone they found and put in the movie?
that whole movie was just people that they found.
Non-actor.
Yeah, because like John Heder was not anything, and like John Heder,
He
had
tried
his
to be something after, didn't he?
You know what? I do love a lot of his movies after, because what was some of his movies? Benchwarmers.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory is a wonderful movie. Fight me.
Me and Janine saw that on a plane and we walked out.
Of the plane?
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
And we're all dead. What if that was the last episode of PCMC? Just like, guess what? We've all been dead the entire
Oh
time.
my god.
I mean, eventually it'll be true.
Yeah.
We'll all be on fire.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, you should say that in the very, very
But
last
when I'm
episode.
dead, eventually.
Like all of us will be dead one day. Bye.
Yeah, but when I die, they'll eventually close my credit card, and the money every month that goes to the server will eventually stop, and that'll be it for PCMC, unless somebody puts it into the Library of Congress.
I don't know. My stuff's on Spotify. I have not paid a dime.
I like it. They could be like a whole scene about like how he gets his mustache.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because like remember like with Solo, they made a big deal about the dice. They made a big deal about his name. Who gave a shit? They made a big deal about his gun. You could have a thing where like I don't know, maybe he's drinking chocolate milk, and then someone's like, that looks pretty good on you. And then
I'm sorry.
And then he's just like, all right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he grows it.
I would feel like, all right, so the Kip Dynamite was my weakest one, but like I still feel like there's something there. You know,
Okay.
like
I don't think that's weak at all.
oh, okay. Then
There's
great.
definitely
We're
something there.
excited about it. Again, like
He
I said,
would do it.
he would. You know what? Like, I feel like a lot of that cast, especially him, because again, I tried to like look at his IMDb
Yeah.
page. There was probably one project afterwards.
Yeah.
I feel like it was
Was
like
he in that cartoon? Remember when they made
Yes.
a cartoon like 20 years later?
yes, the whole cast was in it. The
Wow.
entire cast, including Diedrich Bader, who is way too big for all that. And
You know,
does-
he's King Randor on Master Universe
Yes.
Revelation.
he's also Batman in the Harley Quinn series. And
Is he?
excellent Batman.
Wow.
Yeah, that like that was one of the best. Like, you know how the HBO Max puts out like
Yeah.
all like the like animated
Yeah,
Batman
yeah.
series. I say like it goes Kevin Conroy and then Diedrich Bader. I'm
Wow.
sorry, Will Arnett. I'm sorry. But,
Will Arnett does his own thing. He's non-canon.
but,
Although Michael Keaton's apparently like he's the only other one he says he likes.
what
Michael
Kevin
Keaton,
Conroy?
like
or-
no, when you ask Michael
Oh, wow.
Keaton, he says I like Will Arnett. All right, so the Green Planet. This is a fun adventure on E.T.'s planet, but it's all puppets. It's all real puppets.
Is Botanicus in it?
Yeah, everybody's in it.
Yes.
It's the Green Planet based off the book, The Green Planet. But in that book, I think Elliot goes with him. You don't need any humans.
No, get Elliot out of
It's
there.
just look. I understand how things work. You gotta have a little CG. I get it. But the main cast is gotta be real ET puppets, and it's all I've ever wanted. I can't tell you how much. I mean, if you've ever been on the Universal ET ride, it ends on the Green Planet,
Yes.
and it's you know what, fucking the Avatar world from Animal Kingdom, I think stole a lot.
We're looking at you,
Fuckers.
Avatar.
You stole Navi River Journey. How about you stole that all from fucking the Green Planet?
Jerks.
And you know they're just playing the drums and they're having a good old fucking time. Their hearts are. It could be like Care Bears, but again, not animated. Puppets.
Yes. Like what they
Puppets.
did with the Dark Crystal.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm the only. I had the most embarrassing moment at work involving that show. There were some people. I guess the cooler people at work. They were like talking about Game of Thrones and like
yeah, I watch shows. I'm
Yeah.
a geek.
yeah, and they were exactly, and then like they moved from Game of Thrones to some other fantasy, which made me feel like okay, this is not just a Game of Thrones conversation. This is a fantasy conversation.
You're like,
Did you watch the Dark Crystal?
Exactly, and they were like, "Is that puppet show?" And I was like, yeah.
did they put you in a herb circle afterwards?
They gave me a
They
Melvin.
just kept on pushing you. Herb.
Circle.
Yeah, you probably haven't heard that in about 20 years.
Oh man, they gave me purple nurples,
Oh,
and I
man.
told HR, and then they were like, "You mean that puppet show?"
And then they pushed you and they called you a herb, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, exactly like that puppet show. It's puppets.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't need humans on that.
No.
And that was the whole mystery. Like, okay, so you had E.T.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was based around the kids. And we have had a whole trope just based off of that group of kids.
Right.
Like, that's what Stranger Things is.
Right,
That's
right,
what like that's what that whole pastiche nostalgia is
Yeah.
right now. But the movie's called E.T.
right.
What's his name? Well,
Right.
You probably know it. I don't know.
If he has, that's an interesting question.
Because
If he,
Botanicus, I think, is the only one that actually has a name.
he might have a name in that book, but I've actually not read it,
Mm.
even though I own it.
Well, you'll find out in this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
yeah.
Green Planet.
I think I haven't read it yet because I was afraid that I would immediately start writing a treatment up for for a series. And this would be look, puppets are hard, so we're talking like HBO Max, Netflix, like 10 eps.
Yeah.
See how that goes. Because think about this, you could have a really awesome like monster bad guy that like ET has to fight. Come on.
Probably like lives in the depths of the core. Or
Yeah,
something.
right. Because they're all like plants are good,
Yeah.
and like the bad guy could be like I don't know something that's not natural.
They'll just call it like the beast within, and like it takes
Yeah.
away like that glow in their
Yeah.
hearts and stuff.
And every once in a while,
Oh,
he could be
man.
like, I remember my human friend Elliot.
It's whatever makes them like really pale. You know?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
they'll call him like the drainer.
Yeah. Right. It's like the Nothing from Never Ending Story.
When we are done with this episode, we are
We're gonna start
writing
writing this
thing.
up. Yeah. All right. So I really want that to happen. Somehow we figure out a way to just still call him E.T. He could be like, when I was on Earth, they called me E.T. and I kind of liked it. And they're like, all right, on our planet, you pick your own name or whatever we figure out. And so it's E.T. And then be like, oh, also we got to go to the Senate. We'll bring in episode 1 when they're in the Senate. We'll make it in the Star Wars cinematic universe.
There's a lot of bureaucratic mess of him just changing his name, and
we'll just throw that one scene in where they're like, oh, they're talking about a new chancellor. I don't know, I was for Chancellor Valorum, but no, I guess no confidence. Anyway, what do you got?
All right,
a whole show based on Chancellor Valorum.
Yes, this is Chancellor
Terrence
Valorum
Stamp.
show.
We're getting him back. We're giving him the role he deserved.
I cannot wait. So he went from deep V-neck in the Phantom Zone to the whole galaxy ruling.
Right.
He got, what? Zod got what he wanted.
Yeah.
He ruled the entire galaxy.
He eventually did.
And then got punked out by some jerk from Naboo.
Right. By fucking...
Which brings me to my next spinoff.
Senator from Naboo.
Sheevy is my next spinoff. No. Okay. So my next spinoff is, and this is why I timestamped it, because I feel like AMC will just scoop this up because they are looking for properties, because this is a very Better Call Saul type of spinoff. Okay. This is a spinoff where it's going to go pre the events of the movie and then post the events of the movie and then actually have a season of the movie. This spinoff is called Summer Dollars.
Okay.
Who needs summer dollars? Amity needs summer dollars.
Okay, all right.
So
okay,
what this is a Better Call Saul series of Larry Vaughn's, the mayor of Jaws, fall from grace. Who's it starring? My best pick is Jason Clarke. Now, Jason Clarke has a very basic name, but I think you know who he is. He played John Connor in Terminator Genesis. He played the guy who kills Jay Gatsby in...
Australian actor? Oh, yeah, this guy, this face.
You know what's funny? He's currently the age that Larry Vaughn was, the actor who played Larry Vaughn is, but I feel like he's a little bit younger Larry Vaughn.
Jason Clarke. He'd be good. And he's got to have crazy suits. Like, the suits have to be just bananas.
He's a dramatic actor. I feel like he does have seeing him as John Connor in Terminator Genesis, he does kind of have a little smugness to him in there. Yeah. So I feel like he would be great with that. Now, the Book of Jaws talks about the reason why he's pushing for the beaches to stay open, and it's some ties with the mob. So I want to get into that.
Oh, but really?
Even before, he needs the money. He's hard pressed for the money. So I want to go way to when he's running for mayor, and he's got a lot of this promise, and he's just this cool kid,
and all the rich fucking Martha's Vineyard fucking people, they put pressure on him to do what he, just the hard spot of you're mayor of the small little rich people town.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Lake George? 3 hours up north.
I think I have. Yeah.
Lake George. If you go up there, it is a summer community. I went up there in March once, and it's just pitch and putts and pizza places, and everything is closed down. Yeah. But it is thriving during the summer. Is this
show going to take place not in the summer?
Some of it will be.
Because imagine Amity not in the summer.
Yeah.
You could episode 1 is
out.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then it's here we go. And then his just miserable life with his miserable family.
Because his election is in November.
Right.
So he's you know what? I'm going to get on my anchor suit.
That thing is not going to look good for him.
No. So this is what, so a couple of things that I have. So he becomes elected mayor. He has an affair with, there's that woman that she's part of the council. She's my opinion matters. I think I should know. And she's also she's saying to
the one who's that's not funny at all. That one?
Not, yeah. They have an affair at some point.
Right. I see it.
So there's all this stuff going on. There's the shark season.
Right.
And the shark season.
Who plays Brody in this?
Brody? Oh man, come on, let's figure that out right now.
Who we
have? See, that's why I feel Jason Clarke
is
who's
today's Roy Scheider. I feel like there isn't one.
I ask myself that all the time.
There isn't one. Like a kind of not handsome leading man. He's a leading man, but not handsome. Who's a not handsome, but he's not a character actor. He is a leading man. He's just not handsome.
I know that a lot of these.
No offense to Roy Scheider, he's great, but
a lot of these focused episodes, you call it what it is. Yeah. But I think this episode should be called "Not Handsome Leading Man."
I would never do that to the Scheider family. What? Who? Oh my god! Part of me wants to say Adrian Brody, but he. I'm trying to think who's got Chief Brody had that, like, I look like I'm from New York and everyone else is white thing going on.
But like you'll get the chief before Chief Brody too,
Yeah.
who's like, I don't give a shit, whatever.
Now,
The kid drowned, I don't know, whatever.
Do we show sharks at all, or do we go like classy and like it just that's in the background? We hear about it.
And then one of the final seasons is like, you let a couple of kids die, like
Right.
Like you push that.
Much like West Wing, you need like a whole election season, and like the debate episode is just like you let
Mayor Vaughn, you kept the beaches open, and Chief Brody has said that many times that you put him on a ferry and had the implication of drowning him to keep those beaches open. Then he had a heart attack like 3 I don't know. I never watched the sequels.
Are we gonna make
because
two canon? I don't know.
What was it like? Brody died because of the stress of the shark or something? Like,
yeah, sure. They like at the debate, whoever his opponent is could be like, we got a great American here in the audience. I want to bring up Miss Kittner. She was a fine American who lost her boy.
Oh man,
Alex. We all remember Alex, the Kittner boy. Kittner.
This is my friend, Mrs. Kittner.
She slaps just everyone in the face. Like, you want to slap Mayor Vaughn in the face?
I
know that's your
biologically. I don't know how this woman sired a child.
Yeah, I think you got gold here. I think you got.
I'm
gold.
excited for this, and AMC would eat it up.
Oh my god!
Summer dollars.
Summer
dollars. It's about a mayor's fall from grace, about his desperation to like just keep a town afloat.
Yeah, afloat. I like what you did there. Oh wait, Quint. You need Quint, right?
Oh, Quint will come around once in a while. Young Quint.
Who the fuck is Quint?
Oh
though?
man, who's just like a salty
Oh man,
prick.
that's a role of a lifetime. The young actor who lands the role of young Quint.
Yeah, but
oh my
Quint was
god,
never young. Like
no, I mean he's younger.
Yeah.
I mean that's fun. You get to just be a fucking drunk, belligerent asshole.
Yeah.
He's not in every episode. He comes in once in a while.
Today's Roy Scheider, Adam Driver.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Adam Driver. Adam Driver is today's Roy Scheider.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
You're 100% right. He's taller than the shark.
He could grab it with his giant.
Yeah, I'm not. We can't move on until we think of who could play Quint. Joaquin Phoenix.
Do you think?
No, I like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
He got the hair lip in the Indianapolis tragedy. No? Am I gonna get canceled for that?
I feel like
Bell wishes. Daniel Day-Lewis as the shark. Is that too far?
Daniel Day-Lewis as a shark. Will he commit and like live in Timothy Chalamet as Quint?
He's so hot right now.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's why I gave it to Jason Clarke.
His name was Murray Hamilton.
Murray Hamilton.
He actually played the devil on like I think the second or third episode of The Twilight Zone. Not the devil, Death. He played Death on The Twilight Zone. Do you remember that? Have you ever seen that one?
Show?
Oh my god.
Because I watched a lot of Twilight Zone and they all like, I mean, especially the first couple of seasons are very like space travel-esque.
This was like he oh fuck, who played the con artist? There's this con artist who it's his day to die. But he's like, I'm gonna get out of dying. And Murray Hamilton's like, all right, you could try your best, but I've never missed. When it's your time to go, I take you.
I like how like there was a lot of the episodes of Twilight Zone where the person who is like taking the person's life or like passing the torch, because that was the thing with the pool shark episode too,
right?
Where it's like, I don't want to do this.
Holy shit!
I gotta.
Murray Hamilton has a billion fucking credits going back to the fucking
but most of those were cowboy movies that nobody's ever watched.
Going back to the 40s. My God, The Twilight Zone. He had Mr. Death. That was his name. Who else is on that episode? Oh, somebody important too. Motherfucker. It was the guy who was the voice of the Mad Hatter. He was also in fucking Mary Poppins. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's got like a big nose. What the fuck is that actor's name? Yes. All right. I'm gonna find it.
Edwin.
Yes, Edwin. Uncle Albert.
Edwin what?
No, Edwin.
Oh.
Ed. Space Win.
Oh, those are two names.
All right, yeah. All right, fuck. This episode's already 9 hours long. All right, getting to my next one. Lonesome Ghost. This is a cartoon series where Mickey, Donald, and Goofy play Ghostbusters, and it's based off of the Lonesome Ghost animated short, which, by the way, is where Goofy says, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," and that's where that comes from.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know the thumbnail from Disney Plus, and I've
You've
definitely
never seen the whole cartoon?
I definitely seen this when I was like 6.
It's so good.
But I'm here for this. Tell me
It's
more.
fun. They're like, it was a short, so it's like, who cares what they? It was like, remember how like the Three Stooges would be something different in every, like, now they're plumbers. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
They're Ghostbusters, so they're just waiting for a phone call to come in, and these ghosts call them, like pranking them, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come to this house?" And they go, and it's just a bunch of gags, like Donald, Goofy, and Mickey split up. They don't have proton packs or anything. They have, I think, guns. They're just gonna blast the fuck. It's just gags, and then eventually the ghosts will like reappear and disappear. It's fucking awesome. But a whole series of that, just a whole series of just like basically they're Ghostbusters.
I would love to see that.
It would be incredible.
I know, like, I mean, especially like by the time that we're recording this, Ghostbusters Afterlife just came out, and like, but like the one thing I'm looking at Mike's Ghostbuster tattoo right now. There's an Ecto One Christmas ornament on my Christmas tree right now. Like, we are Ghostbusters fans, so
Yes.
like, yeah, we do talk about it a lot, but oh my god, we can't get enough of it. And I don't think you, the listener, you want more of this too. Bustin' makes you feel good.
Yeah. Absolutely, Busted makes you feel good. And you know, Goofy's not afraid of no ghosts.
He ain't afraid of no ghost. I would love to see that. I mean, right now, Ginny's mentioned this a bunch on the show, that we are going through a lot of the Disney catalog with Henry right now, and Peter is like just tagging along right up the back, like as far as like, you know, I'm into this as well. We're doing the major movies, but like we're like catching on to like a lot of these other shows. So like we did Fun and Fancy Free, and where you have the Jack and the Beanstalk episode. And so you have the trio. You have the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
Yes.
Henry loves the Goofy sports episodes, like the Goofy instructional things.
Those are really good.
So
Lonesome Ghosts comes out in 1937.
We're gonna watch it
3 days after Snow White. Directed by Burt Gillette. They're the members of the Ajax Ghost Exterminators. It was Mickey's 98th short, and the 9th for that year. It's fantastic. You can't go wrong with it.
I'm just so amazed that it just fell into obscurity.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like that's something like Mickey, like those three should have more. Like right now, you know, you got Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse, you got Wacky Roadster Racers, Mixed Up Adventures, and Funhouse.
Yeah.
All right. But that trio should have more, like the Three Stooges.
Well, you know, they're making an animated series based on Kingdom Hearts. So you're going to have like a kind of anime adventure-y Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
That's amazing. Kingdom Hearts
Just
having a moment
more,
right now.
See, do more with them. Do more with them. Do you remember like they did like in like 2010 or 2011, they did like a Looney Tunes superhero show?
No.
Yeah, it was terrible, but it was just really interesting designs, which is all I care about.
Well, right now too, they have that Mickey Mouse cartoon show. I don't know what it exactly called, but it's very like Ren and Stimpy-esque type of animation. And it is for
produced
a more
by Paul Ruddish. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
It's more for a more mature audience. So like whenever Henry wants to watch it, we're like, I don't know, you're gonna find it a little spooky or something. But yeah, they are doing interesting stuff.
Yeah, I would do it in that style, actually.
As like dense as Disney Plus is, like you're bringing back the X-Men that ended in 1996, and you're calling it X-Men 97 now.
Right.
You know, like bring back the stuff from the 30s, bring back the stuff from the 40s.
Right, exactly.
But like, you know, in a very cool way. Like I know like some people want to do it like niche or whatever. It's like, no. Like do Disney Ghostbusters. It's hot right now.
Yes, I agree. Your next one, sir, please.
All right. Disney's going to be involved in mine, too, because they were
Fantastic.
involved originally. And the sign was on the door for this. This movie is called Valiant and Valiant.
Okay.
I'm doing another Bob Hoskins movie.
Well, we're really mining a lot of the material for our upcoming What If Bob Hoskins episode.
this is in my prequel category. This is something I've been wanting for years. People, I've been listening to a lot of Roger Rabbit episodes. You've discussed Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
I listened to this podcast, Wizard and the Bruiser. They did a whole thing on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and how amazing the production of that was, and just how to get Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers, Disney, all on the same page, like, was such a feat. I don't know if my movie's going to be able to do that, but we're all pretending right now. Right. So yeah, they're all there.
Is this where this episode came from? Because I know you've had this particular idea for many years.
And the next one. I had two prequels just mowing around in my head for a long time, and this is what I really want to get out. But
who's going to play the brother?
Okay, so
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins at it again. Finding the modern day Bob Hoskins is tough. And Seth Rogen lost a lot of weight recently, but Seth Rogen was my young Eddie Valiant for the longest time. So I'm going to keep him like that. And the picture of Teddy Valiant that I saw, the closest I could get, and he's the better looking brother, the more charismatic looking brother. So I'm thinking Chuck or Shazam's Zachary Levi, and Seth Rogen as Teddy and Eddie Valiant. So what this is going to do now, the movie writes itself, because if
is it in Toontown or they're Toons?
It's in Toontown. Most of
they're working the beat in Toontown,
because Valiant and Valiant were Toon private investigators,
right?
So
and then he doesn't work Toontown anymore.
Yes, and why? Because a piano falls on Teddy's head. So that's going to be the ending. But like we already know. So
like
ending.
It's going to be like that Bates Motel series where we know where it's going. Like we're gonna be like, you could even like season finales like tease pianos. And people are like, oh shit, is this it? Is this gonna be it?
Like Teddy's going for piano lessons at some point.
And you're like, oh fuck no,
man, no, don't do that.
Don't you know pianos are your fucking worst enemy? The natural enemy of the private eye is the piano. Everyone knows this. Teddy, I didn't realize his name was Teddy. That's so stupid.
Teddy and Eddie Valiant.
Teddy and Eddie. Yeah, here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna pretend like I work at Disney now. You're gonna need to make up a lot of new cartoon characters, and maybe we'll throw like a little, like you get Chip and Dale once in a while. Warner Brothers probably would do it, but you would have to have Disney wanting to do it with them, which I don't know if that would happen.
Well, the original deals for Disney and Warner Brothers was that every single character had to be equal. Like there was something in the clause with like
that's why they appear
Donald
together.
And Daffy had to have equal playing ability of the piano.
Right.
There you go.
Piano. Oh.
One
that must have made Eddie
together.
furious.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny had to have the exact amount of screen time.
Right.
So that's why they're both on the parachutes.
Yeah,
so,
I have to say,
it's a headache.
Yeah. And that was when they were more willing to play ball. I don't think it would happen now.
Yeah, I know.
You'd have to make up a lot of cartoon characters.
You know what they would do? Disney would buy Warner Brothers, which, I mean, it's coming. You know, there's one shot in Who Framed Roger Rabbit that will write this entire movie. Because it shows Eddie's office and it has newspaper clippings on the wall. And one of them is Goofy is released, or Goofy is freed from spy accusations or whatever. So like there's a story that Goofy was allegedly a Nazi spy. And Eddie and Teddy do the investigation for that. Yeah. So like this is like World War II.
I don't know if
like
Bob Chapek is going to go for this. He's going to be like, we're very.
Let's change that.
We like Goofy around here, and that's the thing. I don't like the word Goofy and Nazi anywhere near each other.
Goofy is my favorite Disney character. Like again, like I'm going to bring my son into this. Like we are just exposing Henry to all of Disney because maybe a trip in a couple of years, to Disney World. But
does he listen to the show?
The thing is. Goofy is the dad of Disney. Like he's the one who's always teaching, like in all the books. Right. Goofy is teaching all the other. Like I feel like the whole
he's
other gang.
He's a single dad.
Yes, he is. Yes, Caroline is my favorite recording artist. I said it
of all time.
Of all time.
A Goofy movie.
Oh man, Goofy movie is amazing. But I want Goofy to be the central character for this. Like this Goofy spy case was like the biggest article they had, and that was like their biggest success case. Right. But yeah, Goofy I feel like always gets the short end of the stick, but like he's the sportsman, like he's the one who's always doing the instructional videos. Yeah, it's for slapstick, but like he sells himself short.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, another thing, like, this is like Kip Dynamite. He's always failing upwards. You know?
Right. There's a new, speaking of the Paul Rudish series, there's a short from a couple years ago called Goofy's Job Interview. Have you ever seen this? They can't get him to wake up for a job interview, so Mickey and Donald just like go in his clothes and like fucking Muppet Man him. It's really funny. He also in the new series he looks like more of like a bum Goofy, and I'm
yes.
for that.
Well, is he a tramp or a hobo? I think he's like, you know,
He's kind of-
there's different levels of bum. You know?
He's kind of trampy.
Oh, he's a tramp.
You could see him riding a boxcar.
Ooh.
this version, but no, I really love this.
And one thing I want to see, like,
And by the way,
because-
I do think for real you're gonna see some on Disney Plus. I would not be surprised if they're already working on some sort of Roger Rabbit project. It's gonna happen, some project.
like, and again, like when I was like doing research or like listening to like Roger Rabbit podcast, it's like this is such a beloved thing, and it was such a way ahead of its time. And it still sticks. Like, first off, Bob Hoskins did an amazing job acting to nobody. You know, like just like meeting eye level to real like it wasn't even like anybody in a mocap suit or anything.
Right.
But just getting away from this, I feel like you could put a lot here. You could put the creation of Judge Doom, and like one thing, and Janine actually said this, I believe, once, where like it's kind of like an Adam and Eve story where somebody is like trying to like start drawing. Like you actually see the creator you see the creator like the architect in the Matrix or something, where it's like they try to make Jessica Rabbit, but like they make the proportions way too big in certain areas or something, and like Jessica Rabbit's created, and then they try to make the counterpart, and the counterpart has a bunch of erases, and like it looks like a really crude drawing, and that's what Judge Doom was. And then that's how Judge Doom is created.
You go.
And like he's got like a lot of like smudges and stuff. Yeah. And then he learns piano and drops one on Teddy's head. But yeah, I want Judge Doom to be a big part of this because we don't ever see what he looks like outside of the skin suit
as a cartoon.
Yeah. Roger wouldn't be in it. You know,
no, you don't need him.
Maybe Baby Herman would be because he's the like, you know, salty veteran. But
yeah, Baby Herman's good.
Yeah. But
I love it.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit was just like, you know, a flash in the pan, like this, like, you know, lightning in a jar, I should say, and I feel like they did not do anything.
Well, do you know
with it.
why?
I mean, besides the licensing issues, I
supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but supposedly, Michael Eisner thought like him and Spielberg, like this is we're 50% partners on this. This is our guy, and Eisner kept like basically bugging Spielberg with a bunch of shit until Spielberg was like, we're not partners, and Spielberg pulled out. Like they were working on a part 2.
Yes.
And Spielberg was like I really think Michael Eisner just overstepped his bounds, and Spielberg was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Because there was going to be more. It could have been a huge franchise. Yeah. Fucking Michael Eisner.
Well, it's kind of like a spoof on Chinatown, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the plot is the plot of Chinatown.
Yes.
It's basically that. Okay.
So, like, you know, we would put it in the style of some other film noir, you know?
Yeah. All right. How about this? This is a film now, live action. Skeletor. We do it like Cruella or Maleficent, where it's like he's the good guy. He's just a normal guy, and then King Randor fucking throws acid in his face.
I was just gonna say, does he have skin?
Turns him into in the beginning he's Keldor. He's blue. He's got skin, and then his we could go with. There's different mythologies. We could go with the mythology that King Randor's his brother. I don't know, however you want to do it.
Was Keldor his original name? I don't really know much of.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great.
He's blue.
Oh, okay.
He's just blue with a mustache. Okay, he looks like a blue muscular Kip from yes, he's Tobias.
They really forced mustaches on a lot of these people. It's very like Tom from Holland type of stuff.
He's got an evil mustache, and you know, he gets
Finland.
the acid on his face.
Not Tom Holland.
Of course, that's gonna fuck him up.
Sorry, Tom from Finland, not Tom from Holland.
And then we could just basically retell we can have Prince Adam be like this little fucking prima donna snot. We have to like tell the whole story as like what you've heard is wrong.
Yeah.
Like Skeletor is actually a good guy, and he's just a freedom fighter because they're a fucking royal family. You tell me He-Man is the son of the king, and he enforces what the fucking what the crown wants.
You're turning him into Snape. Like it's like your father's a dick, and now like you're like this little shit kid.
Right.
Oh no! Weigh in.
You can corrupt his catchphrase. They want to turn it into a democracy. The people have spoken. They want it to be democratic rule. And
Yeah.
He-Man's always like, I have the power.
Wow. Wow.
Get over here right now.
Right. Skeletor could be like, no, the people have the power. And He-Man would be like, no, I have the power. Don't you understand how fucking aristocracy works?
Oh man.
Oh my God, it writes itself. I'll go Fassbender for this. Fassbender as Skeletor. I'm for it. You'd be a great Skeletor.
Oh god. But it's like Fassbender from Shame, so like you see his
You see his dick.
you see it you
His
see
blue
his
dick.
his Skeletor.
And he's like, I gotta go method, so cut my face off. You know, maybe Zoe Kravitz is Evelyn. You know, well, since Seth Rogen keeps coming up, we'll make him Beast. Anyway, that's the Skeletor movie. Timothy Chalamet for He-Man for sure.
Oh, for Adam.
For
Yeah.
Adam for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or like Eddie Redmayne. Like
Right. He's just like
which
bumbling.
Ginger? Oh.
What else you got?
All right. This was a prequel, but I made it a little bit more.
Okay.
So this idea is called, but this was the one that I was originally really passionate about. I wanted to make a musical about this, and I actually started and then just stopped. It's called The Girl from St. Olaf.
Okay. Yes.
So The Girl from St. Olaf is the story of Rose Lindstrom married to Charlie Nyland.
Yes.
So Rose Nyland from The Golden Girls.
Right.
So Rose in The Golden Girls always, like every 2 or 3 episodes, tells a story
yeah.
of back from St. Olaf. One of the ones that stick with me are, I can't lie, because back in St. Olaf, the mayor used to put all the liars in the town square and point at them. Or like, or
right.
like,
The joke was always like she lived in like this backwards nowhere.
yeah, but it was in Minnesota. Like it was in the United States, but it was very much like this, like Norwegian, like sticks, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was The Girl from St. Olaf, and it's just the story, and we're going to do it like The Crown, so it's going to be like young teen and then like early 20s.
Oh, we're gonna keep recasting Rose?
Yeah, we're going to recast it because
Will Betty White narrate?
Oh, man, you know what? She's going to turn 100 next month. Get her, like, just like one more thing before she goes. She's not going
She's
anywhere.
gonna be alive for
She's gonna
another
be alive
100
forever.
years.
She's sharp as a tack. She's 100. Betty, we love you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel for some reason I feel I'm seeing like Kristen Chenoweth as like an adult, a young adult Rose. Like when she meets Charlie.
See, the thing is, you actually inspired me to cast this because I actually had somebody
Who do you have?
who now I cast as something else, which is funny. Well, I'll get into that in a second. But you mentioned her in the Ghostbusters episode. I have McKenna Grace as a young teen Rose.
Yes.
And I have Kiernan Shipka, who played Sabrina on the Twisted Adventure or the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina,
Yeah.
as 20s Rose.
Yes.
So the first season is young teen, second season is the relationship with Charlie. But yeah, it's just all about the absurdity
Right.
of St. Olaf.
Right.
And like just like how silly it is. And like we're just gonna
Right.
go all throughout the Golden
Like
Girls.
isn't like a goat the mayor or something like that?
At some point. I have to rewatch this. It, like the thing about
Sarah
the Golden Girls,
Silverman during sweeps. Sarah Silverman comes on as Dorothy. Just like she
Mike.
just comes through town.
Mike. This was going to be my prequel, but you just opened the floodgates because now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Golden Verse.
Okay. So you're gonna do all 4 ladies
Yes.
or 5?
That's what this blue on this paper is, Mike.
wow.
I have the Golden Verse,
The
and this took me a
meticulous-
long time, and I casted everybody. Okay, so here we go. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Okay, so the next one. This one's my weakest one, but that's why I said Rose was, Betty White originally auditioned for Blanche.
Right. No, they asked her to be Blanche, and she said no because it was too similar to her Mary Tyler Moore character.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to do something different.
Because originally, who I had as Rose was Samara Weaving, because I feel like Samara Weaving right now is the
She looks the part.
Yes, she looks the part, and also I feel like she could do it all.
She's not Margot Robbie though.
No, she's not Margot Robbie.
But everyone thinks she is.
But you know what? I was looking at pictures of young Rue McClanahan,
Yes.
and she could be
Who isn't?
Blanche Devereaux in The Bells of Hollingsworth Manor.
I love it.
So it was Blanche Hollingsworth, and then married into John Devereaux. So Samara Weaving plays Blanche Hollingsworth. And this show, like, I don't have much for this, but like, it's either like a Melrose Place or a Designing Woman type of drama. It's sexy. It's a little silly. It's a little campy, or it's like a scripted Bravo show.
Okay.
You know, like that, like straight into like Blanche's world.
And it's like Gone with the Wind. Like, she's got to be rich.
Yes.
And it's got to be like Southern, like that whole horrible way of life.
Yeah, it's just like every day's a debutante ball. You know, like
doesn't
very,
she have
like,
a gay brother?
I believe yes, she does.
He could be in the closet,
yes.
like deeply in the closet.
Yes, and I remember she's very she's not
cool with it at first.
She's not cool with it at first. Yeah. So
what about Sophia? Because I feel like
that brings us to picture it, Sicily. ... Yes. Okay. So who's got a really? She's not Italian, but who's got a really big Italian mom energy is Alana Gleiser. So I have from Broad City, and surprisingly enough, Sesame Street.
Okay.
So
she'd be good. I like her.
So she's Sophia Grisanti Petrillo.
Yes.
And all right, so her daughter Dorothy is tremendous.
Yeah.
So we need somebody like she's even Alana Gleiser is very small. So we need somebody big. So I was thinking, who else is a big guy who's been in Italy? Master of Nuns, Eric Warheim, or Tim and Eric's Eric Warheim.
Yes.
And
Dorothy?
no, as Sal Petrillo.
Yes, as Dorothy.
And again, here's another thing like Girl from St. Olaf, where Picture It Sicily, like back in St. Olaf, was the start of some bonkers story.
Right.
And so, like, what we're gonna do,
and you could call that time period the Silver Age.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. So, like, we're gonna go back in Sicily. It's gonna be like it's gonna be a comedy. Like mostly it's gonna be comedies. Probably Bells of Hollingsworth.
Most of these are gonna be comedies. Some will be thrillers, obviously.
Well, no, Bells of Hollingsworth Manor is gonna be a campy, like cheesy, like you know, one of those things. But yeah, I feel like Alana Gleiser could like really.
Now, are you gonna have the scene in this Picture of Sicily? Are you gonna have the scene where everyone murdered somebody at a block party and no one saw nothing?
Yeah, because what happened was
he died of 21 stab wounds.
She was married before Sal Petrillo.
Was she?
Yes, to a mob boss.
Okay.
So that's going to be a lot of like the first couple of episodes.
Wow,
we don't want this to go for so long. This is going to be a single camera. It starts in Sicily and it ends in Brooklyn.
Sure.
Right? It's going to be them, and then you're going to have a young Dorothy, but then that's going to go into it's me, Stan. So it's not going to be a story about, well, Dorothy's going to be in it, but it's going to be the story of Stan Spornak.
Yeah.
Because Stan Spornak is just like this, like, why the fuck did you marry this guy?
Yeah.
Why? Because he was young and he was a big guy. He was a little handsome, and then he just like, something happened.
Right.
So I'm going to cast Rob Delaney as Stan Spornak.
Rob Delaney. Okay.
Because like after watching Catastrophe, I feel like that's a guy who's like charming. Like you're gonna like hang out with him for one night. It's like, why did I fall for this guy?
Are you gonna have him go slowly bald?
Yes, I was
like,
looking for bald
it?
guys, but like I couldn't really find somebody except for like Harry Shearer that looked close to Stan. And then this one was hard because what I was looking for Dorothy was tall actresses.
Yeah.
And the closest one I could find, and you know what? It actually works because this is somebody who has worked in comedy. This is somebody who has worked in like, who could probably kick your ass and who is also deadpan, is Karen Gillan as Dorothy Spornak, or Dorothy Petrillo.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. You put like some type of like, you know, beehive haircut or something because it's going to be in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan as Dorothy Spornak. Today's B. Arthur, Karen Gillan.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. I think.
Well, I am into Karen Gillan as much as I was into B. Arthur. So,
how do you feel about my idea of
aren't all of us?
How do you feel about my idea of Sarah Silverman
as Sophia?
No, as Dorothy.
As
maybe a
Dorothy.
little older, but a little older than the time period I think you've got. But like when she has her kids and maybe her stands all the way bald now, and like he cheats on her, right? That's what breaks them up. Yeah. Like maybe around that period, I can see Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. Yeah, because she's just about had it. You know, like
Yeah,
she could play the it's a 3-camera sitcom, like very much like Married with Children. It's me, Stan, you know, like
So they're all. I like that they're all different genres
Yes.
and various looks.
But you know what? Every time through the door, Mom comes in and it's still played by Alana Glazer.
Right, and we
Glazer.
much like with Marvel, we got to get these people to sign like crazy contracts where we
Yeah.
use them for everything.
Exactly. And then like maybe the last episode of whatever show comes last. So I'm gonna think that it's me, Stan. That show comes last,
Me,
and then
Stan.
it's going to be on the Lanai down in Miami.
Yeah,
And then there you have very in old makeup because she's probably going to be the youngest. Kiernan Shipka, Samara Weaving, Alana Glazer, and Karen Gillan as the new Golden Girls.
beautiful. I love it.
But
I
yeah,
think that's fantastic.
that's my Golden verse.
I think that's fantastic.
You'll get one good show out of that, maybe.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. All right, here's my last one, and this is it's fun. It's not what yours is, but it's similar in some ways. I jump around in time. All right, so first we start with a prequel. It's Gremlins, World War II,
What?
with Mr. Futterman. Mr. Futterman is in the Air Force during World War II, and he's dealing with gremlins for the first time. Right? We hire somebody to play like a young Dick Miller, and we don't have Gizmo, but we do. I think the way I see it is you could introduce a new cute Mogwai,
Yes.
but every like villain is sort of a reincarnation of Spike. Like they'll all kind of be Spike or Stripe, whatever you want to call them. So that's the first one. So that's a prequel to Gremlins, but then that opens us up to the Gremlins cinematic universe, and then we're just throughout time, like ancient Rome Gremlins, Gremlins in the future, Gremlins in space, Gremlins, the mid ages, Gremlins in King Arthur's court. We just basically any time period, just throw Gremlins in there, and once we build up
It's
enough,
like the crumple of every single civilization had to have been from corrupted
Right,
Mogwai.
right,
like,
right.
like, oh, these are a cute idea.
Yeah, right.
I fed him after.
Right, yeah. The Gremlins create COVID-19 in their lab. And I think once we have enough like good guy Mogwais,
Yeah.
we do like an Avengers kind of movie. Like they all have to be good, but they can't just be Gizmo clones.
No.
Like you could have like the Gizmo clone that's like Rey to Luke, like a cute girl Mogwai, but then like you need like a more like funny one. Like you need different. They're all good guys, but they're different.
And then like when in their like lowest hour, you just hear like a and you just see a cane and like it's like, in an apron of smoke and it's Gizmo.
Right,
Right. It's old Gizmo.
right.
And-
He's like the
And then he puts on the Rambo bandana
Yeah.
and then he just has the flaming friggin'
yeah.
He says, "One last fry."
one last
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Dylan. One of the Mogwais are called Dylan.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
they do.
I love
they do like the clap, shake hands, flex.
Pushing pencils, Dylan.
Yeah. I think you gotta have some comedy in it. I think we'll keep. There's this concept now of soft canon.
Yes.
Like Ghostbusters 2 is soft canon. It happened, but nobody's talking about the time the fucking Statue of Liberty walked down Main Street
Right,
in
it was-
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We make
That's like Evil Dead. Evil Dead, it was like he went back in time, but
Right.
we're just going to talk about the cabin.
We make Gremlins 2 soft canon. It happened, but we don't need to reference it. And I don't want to get into like the game that they got into that with all sorts of weird different bad guy gremlins. Like
Yeah.
just let them just be villain bad guys.
Well-
and going back to the ET episode, puppets. We do puppets.
Do puppets. Like CGI is... We're at the point now where CGI is like it will stand the test of time. At least I believe it will. But puppets will always stand the test of time.
Like eventually when we have our like Avengers Endgame where like it's a sea of Mogwais
Yeah.
and gremlins like fighting each other and there's like thousands of them. Yeah.
They're just coming through puddles.
Like you'll need you'll need CG in that point.
Now, Gremlins 2 was a huge success, though.
Not really.
No?
No,
because I feel
only
like
to us children.
I thought it was so cool. It was like
It
kind of like
was,
Gremlins Die
but-
Hard. Like
but
he was in the vents,
Grown
you know?
up ticket buyers were like, no, we're good.
Because then I just thought that like Spielberg just burned bridges left and right. Then because
Yeah, yeah,
it's like fuck you, I'm gonna go make Jurassic Park 2 then.
yeah.
Oh,
Joe Dante, the director of Gremlins, we could get him involved as a producer. He hasn't made a movie in a long time.
but it was an Ablin property, right?
Yeah. Chris Columbus, Home Alone, and directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies.
Yes.
I think he'd actually be down. He could be like, you can make him the Kevin Feige.
You know what?
He's been like trying to make another one for a while.
Chris Columbus stays true to text too. Like if you look at the Harry Potters, like stylistically, yeah, it went in a better direction, but it's closer to the books with Chris Columbus. Chris
Right.
Columbus took a John Hughes movie and made it one of the highest grossing movies of all time. You know, like
right.
Chris Columbus is the Midas man when it comes to like these like
Right.
feel good movies.
Right.
Yeah, get him on board.
And in Harry Potter fandom, now that J.K. is sort of in the doghouse, I feel like Chris Columbus is. We're bringing him out more as a sort of face of the franchise.
Yeah.
Like with all the 20th anniversary stuff, like they're interviewing him a lot.
Yes.
And like,
Which is funny because they had David Yates do all the Fantastic Beasts. He did the rest of the Harry Potters
Right.
because he's pretty much like, there's a style, I'm going to stick to the style.
Right.
But it's like, the last few movies were very
Yeah.
good, but like, I don't know. They were
but
kind
also
of
like
tap water
Hogwarts
too.
had been designed. Like
Yeah.
all of these things had been designed.
Columbus laid down the tracks. And
Right,
then Alfonso
exactly.
Cuarón did that one, and he kind of just like, for the better, swapped it.
Right,
you
right.
know. But anyway, yeah, no, Columbus definitely could make something good of it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So the Gremlins cinematic universe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would love that.
I think we all would. Well, listen, like you said, we're recording this on December 3rd, 2021.
These were all excellent ideas.
Nobody
they
can
are
take these.
Property of Bill Gagliardi and Mike Bongiorno.
Yes, do not. But if you want
Patent
to
pending.
if you want to contact us to hire us to write some of these things, I'd be willing to do that.
And yeah, send
I'm a
us
hired
your
gun.
ideas too.
Yeah,
And we'll give you credit, maybe.
yeah. I do feel like in like the next 50 years, everything will happen. Like I feel like
Yes.
we're hitting a pop culture singularity where like there will be everything.
Yes, 100%.
This has been a fantastic episode of PCMC. Bill Gagliardi, thank you so much for coming with this fresh hot IP. Yeah, if you like PCMC, and why wouldn't you? I mean, what's the matter with you? We come out every Wednesday. You could find us anywhere podcasts are found. We're also on Facebook. Facebook now publishes podcasts. So we are published on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my aunt could listen to it now.
Yeah, exactly. I
Wonderful.
think yeah, Facebook was like this year, they were like in 2021, they were like, we're gonna start publishing podcasts, and people were like, cool, great, I guess.
Awesome.
Sure, why not?
Way to go, Meta.
Yeah. We end every episode
With Animals sequel, which is Go Bye Bye, I guess.
Smokey Steve.
Smokey Steve. Missy Monday and Smokey Steve come back again.
Oh my god.
Go bye bye.